Sports on Tap is brought to you by Go2 Pro Plumbing, Land & Sea Motorsports, On the Bay Customs Boutique and Cafe.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, we loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With news that's jaw dropping, they're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go and all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. If we take a fucking tight end, I quit. You can't let that shit happen. You can't.
Welcome to this week's edition of Sports on Tap. I am Chris Scott, alongside Joe Waddell. We are minus Frank Dragata today. Frank is it's moving day for Frank.
It's moving day.
Yeah.
And we all know how moving day is.
Yeah, and he's moving in the rain, which kind of sucks.
That does suck.
Yes.
Not to mention, he said he got like an hour of sleep because,
Yeah.
I mean, he works nights, so he's used to being up, and I wouldn't want to have moving day on an hour of sleep.
No, I've done it hungover twice. It's not fun. So
God, I wouldn't even want to do it hungover.
It's awful.
No matter how much sleep I got, hungover would be awful.
Hungover in the middle of the summer. It's not.
Oh.
It is not fun. Trust me.
God. That's fucking brutal.
Yeah, it was not the smartest idea on my part, but what are you gonna do? It's good to be back. I was sick last week. I'm sure the guys told you.
Yeah, we just said you were under the weather
Yeah.
and you wouldn't make the show, but you were here in spirit
I was here in spirit.
and in the other room.
and literally in the other room. So
yeah.
And I'm feeling better, so I'm happy about that. I'm happy to get back on the mic here and get back to doing what we do, talk
Yeah.
sports. So
This is great because we love doing this. This
absolutely
is
do it,
just
yeah.
fun
Yeah.
to do.
It's something I look forward to every Tuesday,
Same.
especially while I'm at work and at a job I absolutely despise. So like later in the day on a Tuesday, it actually gives me something to look forward to. So
Right?
with that being said, hit me with those picks.
All right, let's do the picks.
It's time.
You want to start off? I want to start off.
You can start off.
All right. The MLB All-Star game is tonight, and I'm going to take the under at 11 between the two teams.
All right. I like that. I like that a lot. And we did not discuss our picks before the show, so this is going to be kind of funny. I am also taking the under in the All-Star game.
Nice.
The All-Star games are usually pretty low scoring. You have a lot of great bats, but you also have the best pitching in the game.
Yep.
Which keeps the scores low most of the time.
Yep.
And to me, this just seems like an under game.
The only thing that kind of gives me a little pause to having the under, taking the under, is where the game is being played.
Yep, where it's at. Because balls can tend to sail.
Yeah.
A pop fly in
Yeah.
any other stadium can be a home run in this one, but I tend to think that these pitchers will keep the ball in play, keep it low, keep grounders going.
Yep.
And as much as players are going to try to hit home runs and be the star of the game, I think it's going to be an under.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you on that. You got another one?
You can go
go
next.
down?
Yeah,
All right.
I have another All-Star game one, but I'll go.
Tomorrow night, was it Game 4 tomorrow night for the NBA Finals?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to take the Bucks and the over at 220.5.
Nice. Very nice. I'm going to stick with the All-Star game, and I'm going to take the NL All-Star team to win this game. I just look at these rosters, and it's not like it's I didn't sit down and super analyze it. It's the All-Star game. I just look at it and I go, all right.
That you have to analyze it, the guys who are actually picked, and then you have to analyze it again for the guys who say, no, I'm not going.
Right.
And then the guys they replace them.
And then you have to analyze it by which players are going to play one inning, which players are going to play
Right.
2 innings,
Right.
and it's really difficult. But I just see the NL All-Star team being a little bit better in this overall, and I think they're going to win it. I could be completely fucking wrong.
Yeah. That's how gambling works.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the Open Championship. And I'm going to take Tommy Fleetwood to win the whole thing, going off at plus 3,500.
Nice.
Usually with the Open.
I don't even know who
Championship-
Tommy Fleetwood is.
Exactly. This is you're getting to my point, which is great. Usually with the British Open or the Open Championship, if you want to be pompous about it.
I do.
Fair enough. Usually, especially at the course that they're playing at, is a guy comes out of nowhere they never heard of. And I since I follow golf, I know who Tommy Fleetwood is. He's a solid golfer.
Right.
But it's usually a guy that comes out of nowhere that you never heard of that comes out and wins the whole damn thing. So, I mean, he's not like a really well-known golfer, but I think he's a guy that can absolutely, put together 4 rounds and win the whole damn thing.
All right.
So,
Tommy Fleetwood Mac.
yep, exactly.
I like it. So I'm going to go against your pick in the NBA.
Okay.
Tomorrow night's game, I'm actually going to take Phoenix, and I'm going to take them getting the 4 points. I think this last game was an anomaly. I think they came into this game a little off kilter, a little low.
Right.
Having won 2 games in a row in Phoenix, feeling a little bit too high about themselves, and I just see them coming in a little bit more serious about this game, and at least keeping it within a few points. They might still lose, but I like getting the 4 points if I'm Phoenix.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, I'm happy you ended with the NBA Finals because, as you know, I'm not a huge NBA fan, and neither are you.
No.
But you used to be.
I did used to be, yes.
Right.
When I was a lot younger and growing up,
Right.
it was a great era of basketball. I've started watching more recently.
Okay.
Again, because there's a lot of good young talent. We talked about this a few weeks ago with the Devin Bookers, Donovan Mitchells, Luka Doncic.
Yep.
Those guys have kind of brought me back a little bit.
All right. Now, like back then, we had the bad boys and like the Go into Work Pistons and things like that. Yeah, I paid more attention to it then than I do now. I mean, I obviously know enough about it to actually know what's going on, and that's all well and good. But I swear to God, this might be the most boring finals matchup ever. Ever.
It's
Like
not
the-
exciting.
Like one that just doesn't do anything. It doesn't move the needle.
Right. I see your point. I actually agree with you. I've enjoyed it for one fact, and it's not LeBron and it's not Steph Curry,
Which is awesome.
I have enjoyed it for that.
Right.
Now, as far as gameplay, it hasn't been necessarily great. I do enjoy watching CP3 get out there and do what he's been doing recently.
Right.
I do enjoy watching Devin Booker.
Should have been a Piston.
He should have been, just like Donovan Mitchell. But as far as the actual series goes, no, it's been pretty boring.
It's
And
just-
the ratings are drastically down.
Is that right?
So from 2000 from last year, we're not gonna go off last year because it was a weird fluke year. But they're down from last year. But from 2019, the finals are down in viewership by 50%.
Ooh. Yeesh. Ouch.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's what happened. You don't have a marquee team in the final. You just don't.
Well, and as much
Or even really a marquee name. I mean, Giannis, yeah, that's great, but he's not KD. He's
Yeah.
not LeBron.
Giannis is not those guys.
He's not Steph.
Booker's not those guys. They might be eventually.
Right.
But when it comes down to it, you don't have, and I don't even think it's the marquee teams, although you could say that for the Warriors. But I think it's a marquee name, like Steph Curry, like LeBron James. As much as I hate LeBron James, and I'm happy he's not in it.
LeBron James.
I think he's it just goes to show he's the main draw in the NBA, and that's what a lot of people want to. Even the people who don't like him tune in to try to see him lose.
I'm glad you said that because that actually brings me up to something I wanted to talk about. We talked about this before the show. One, Conor McGregor.
Yes.
Now, obviously, I'm not a big UFC guy, but I did catch a little bit of the fight against Poirier, and I saw him bust his leg. That was nasty. If you saw it, it was nasty. If you don't want to, if you're squeamish, don't watch it because it was really gross.
Yeah.
But this goes to the point about what you just said about LeBron is that he is the guy, which is unfortunate that he is the guy because he's fucking done.
And speaking of Conor McGregor, I just put up a visual of his leg break, by the way. Since you brought him up.
Yeah.
That leg break is brutal.
It's gross. But
it's disgusting.
But that's the sad thing about it now is like he is the guy. He is the guy that moves the needle for for the UFC.
Yeah,
But he's fucking done.
he's done.
He's fucking done.
So I know you weren't here, and you didn't really listen to the show last week because you were not feeling well and didn't.
It would have been bad. I would have been hacking up a lung.
So, but we discussed this last week, and both Frank and I kind of agreed that Conor is done. He's over, and Poirier was going to win that fight in our minds. I think he even took it as one of his bets, and you know this was unfortunate. The leg break was unfortunate.
Yeah.
When it comes down to the actual fighting, though, he's lost a step. He's not as hungry as he used to be, which to me translates to him not being as mentally prepared as he used to be. He is the big draw for them still.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of it goes to his personality
It
and what he
does.
puts out there. And honestly, most of that is show, and I give him credit for that because he's built himself into the highest paid fighter UFC has ever seen.
Yeah.
But he's the draw because either you want to see him win or you want to see him lose.
I want to see him retire.
Same as LeBron, though.
Yeah.
Like as much as I want to see LeBron retire, but when he's in the finals, if I watch it all, it's to watch him lose.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me, I'm not personally going to watch him too much, but there are those factions of people that hate on LeBron that will watch to see him lose.
Yes.
It's like viewership for hatred is the same as viewership for love. It's viewership. Period.
But it says a lot about the UFC that you can't get somebody to replace that guy as like your top dude, a guy that's literally he's past his prime and he's done. It's like what?
See, I don't think they see it like that.
Really?
Unfortunately, I don't think Dana White and the UFC see him as being done.
No, because they can still make money off of him. That's why. But anybody else who like follows that sport, even I follow it very, very casually, but even I can tell that dude he's done.
Yeah,
Like he's
it's not there anymore.
no, it's not.
And I don't know what it is. To me, I look at it again. I go back to, I believe it's the fire that was lit in him to come up and make a name for himself and to make that money and to do what he had to do. And now that he's made it to that mountaintop,
Yep.
I don't see the same fire.
Oh.
He puts out there like there is. He talks a good game, but that's all a bunch of show for him to make money.
Yeah. Because and honestly, even if he has the fire and everything like that, I don't know if he physically can do it anymore.
Well, that's a big question.
You know, it's the last few times he's been in the octagon, he's gotten his ass kicked. I mean, this one is unfortunate he broke his leg, but the two times before that he got his ass kicked.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
he did. Yeah, he I mean, they even had a meme of him sleeping in the ring,
Right.
out of that last fight.
So that's kind of where I'm at with Conor McGregor now. It's like, dude, just and not to mention like when he was sitting in the ring with his leg broken, he's talking shit about Poirier's wife and whatnot. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't understand how they go interview the guy
Right,
sitting in the ring with his
like,
leg broke anyway.
yeah.
Like Joe Rogan goes over and
Yeah.
sits down next to him as he's getting his leg
Right.
like put back together.
Right.
Because it's completely broken in half, and they're sitting there chatting like everything's like it's they're just sitting on a park bench. What the fuck is going on here?
That was actually pretty funny. I have to say
That was one of the oddest
Right.
post interviews I've ever seen. Now Joe Rogan is ruthless with his post fight interviews. He doesn't care what happened. Like he'll go if you're still laying on the ground knocked out, he'll go over and put a microphone in front of your face and try to get that interview.
Yeah.
Like you haven't even woken up yet. But that one was brutal.
How do you think that went?
What?
What?
Huh?
Wait, where the fuck am I?
Well, let me sleep, Mom.
Seriously. Well, yeah, that's kind of where I am with Conor McGregor, and people out there will still back him and everything. Like, that's cool. You do you, but you're.
I've backed down on my fandom of Conor McGregor.
You used to love Conor.
I was a big fan of Conor, and again, but I was one of those people that I saw the pageantry in it. I most of what he did was all show,
Right.
And I got that, and I understood that, and I admired that. Like the guy made a name for himself.
Yep.
He created the money that he has because no other fighter in the UFC was making that money.
No.
And he went out there and he created that money for himself, and I was a big fan of that. And then now I've backed off a little bit because I'm just kind of listen. I like the guy, but I think he's done, and I don't want to watch these fights anymore. I had no desire to watch that fight because I personally thought he was going to lose. Forget the leg break. If his leg doesn't break, I still think he loses.
Right. It's just, but he'll continue to draw, and I say good for him. It's like you just said, it's a shame that UFC doesn't see it that way. That he's not like the guy, or that they think he still is the guy.
They still think he's the man.
Which I obviously 100% disagree with, but
I mean, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
I really am.
But, what are you gonna do?
I think some of it is mental too. Like I said, I think some of it's mental. And speaking of being players with mental problems, which I'm having right now, I can't spit out my words.
English, motherfucker.
I do not speak it, apparently. No, but speaking of athletes with mental issues going on and things blocking their mental mind, is Ben Simmons comes to mind.
Yeah.
Because this guy had a mental block in the playoffs that was just incredible.
Yeah, it was bad.
And I think a lot of his problem is between his two ears, and I think he doubts himself now, but he did win an ESPY, and you have not seen this.
I have not.
You have not.
First of all, I didn't even know the ESPYs happened.
Yes,
and you told me about this earlier, and I said, for what?
And I told you just wait
yeah,
because I want you to see this.
I'm absolutely curious about this.
Yes, the fact that you haven't seen this makes me more excited to play this.
Great.
But he did win an ESPY, and here is Anthony Mackie
Yeah.
presenting his ESPY.
Ben Simmons took home a special ESPY for his humanitarian work. Yes. Not everyone knows this, but Ben Simmons has been building orphanages like this one completely out of his playoff bricks.
That's awesome.
What do you like to say, little ladies?
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
Oh, I laughed way too fucking
That's
hard.
great.
Watching that, and I didn't watch the ESPYs. I'm like you. I had no idea.
No
they were
fucking
on.
clue it was on.
I didn't even know it aired. Didn't even know it was on.
Nope.
Nothing. But then that came across my feed, and I was like, "That is fucking hilarious."
That's fantastic. That's absolute. Yeah. I needed that. Thank you. That was great. I mean, he did put up enough of them, so I'm sure he could have built a lot of those orphanages.
He's been building orphanages off of his playoff bricks.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. I dig that. Well played, sir.
Yeah.
Well played. Like, I thought he won an actual ESPY. I'm like, that's why I said, I'm like, for what?
That's why I didn't exactly tell you
All
what
right,
it
fair
was.
enough.
I wanted you to experience that truly for the first time, like I did,
That was
because when I first saw that, I was like, he's like, Ben Simmons won an ESPY, and then he was like, for humanitarian award. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm humanitarian.
Yeah, right.
Just because he sucks on the court right now doesn't mean he's not humanitarian.
Right.
And then he said it was building orphanages
fucking great.
solely from his playoff bricks.
I love that.
That was fantastic.
That's fantastic.
So I think next maybe we should get into you want to get into the All-Star game and the home run derby?
I
Talk
do,
a
because
little baseball.
I do, because I know you wanted to talk a little bit about Shohei Ohtani, which honestly this kind of correlates to both of those. So
Yeah.
let's definitely get into that.
Yep.
I don't know if you watched the home run derby last night. I did.
Yes.
I did. I honestly I enjoyed. Let me rephrase that. I enjoyed the actual derby. I despise the way ESPN presented the home run derby. That split screen crap they had going on was it was hideous. It was horrible.
And not to mention the split screen at one point was completely off. It wasn't synced up.
No, at all.
So like you saw the guy swing on the left screen, and on the right screen he hadn't even swung yet.
Exactly.
And it was so far off. It was like watching a show where the audio's off, and it was just driving me nuts.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm sitting here watching this. I'm like, you guys gotta do something. Like I know it's like rapid fire pitching and everything, and I get that you're trying to hit as many as you possibly can. And I know they changed the rule to where it used to be you had to wait till the ball landed to be able to swing at your next pitch. They got to go back to that, because if they're going to do this rapid fire pitching, and this is the way it's going to be presented on television, it's not going to work. It was an absolute abomination last night. That being said, I think they should have the home run derby in Colorado every year. Every year,
It was visually pleasing.
Oh, they were hitting bombs.
Yep.
It was great. I know the ball are juiced up and all that shit. And during the home run derby, I don't care. Juice up the ball, juice up the bats. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
That's what the whole point of it is, for entertainment.
At the home run derby, you can let him hit with aluminum bats.
Yeah,
for all I care.
Next,
like,
let him hit with aluminum bats.
Like I don't even give a shit. Like it doesn't matter. It's the home run derby. You want to see home runs.
Absolutely. I wanted to see somebody blast one out of that stadium in right field, and I wanted to see somebody hit the scoreboard in left field, which I'm surprised nobody did.
They came really close.
Really
to the scoreboard.
close.
But yeah, I was surprised. Technically, if you looked at the distances, they could have hit it out of the park both ways. Somebody could have. Now they didn't.
Right.
But if you look at some of the past home runs and some of the past home run distances in the home run derbies, somebody technically could have.
Right.
I really wanted that.
I did
wanted
too.
to see one leave the park.
I did. That would have been great. But I mean, Pete Alonso, that dude was just a machine last night. It looked like honestly, it didn't even look like he was even trying in the batter's box. And credit to his pitcher. I mean, he was laying him in there like perfectly.
Yes.
And I saw like a breakdown of it earlier today, and like literally every pitch was like right down the middle, like every one of them. So credit to him. That's a tough thing to do, is to like throw batting practice strikes like consistently. It's not easy to do.
No.
But yeah, he just looked like an absolute machine in that batter's box. Like it was like effortless. He's like get the pitch, swing, gone. However, it did look like it was a bit of a struggle for Shohei Ohtani. It looked like, honestly,
Yeah.
it looked like the moment kind of got him a little bit. It was a bit much for him.
The whole stage was set up for him.
100%. It was basically the whole thing was like based around him.
It was supposed to be his coming out party.
Yeah.
Even though we've talked about it, I don't think he gets enough credit for what he's doing.
Of course, because he plays for the redheaded stepchild of the Dodgers.
Well, he plays for the Angels, which you could say Mike Trout hasn't gotten the recognition he deserves.
Hasn't, because he plays for the fucking Angels.
Well, but also because Mike Trout doesn't want it. Mike
that's
Trout
fair.
always turns down opportunities to be the face of anything.
But
Like,
but if Mike Trout played for the Dodgers, or if he played for the Yankees, or the Red Sox, or Cubs,
you would know more about
you would
him.
absolutely know more about him, whether he wanted you to or not.
But in turn, and I'm going to go ahead and throw up a couple of stats here, a couple images here for Shohei Ohtani. But when it comes down to it, I think it comes down to the MLB.
Motherfucker.
The MLB not marketing their, all jokes aside. So it comes down to Major League Baseball not marketing their players. They do a piss poor job of marketing individual players. Like the NBA does a very good job.
The NBA does a great job.
The NFL doesn't really market individual players as well, but you still
Except quarterbacks.
You still get the individual marketing.
Yeah.
You know, but Major League Baseball is not good at marketing individual players at all.
And it's still better than the NHL.
Yes, it is.
Which is saying something.
which is astonishing. But
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, like you think of it, baseball is very localized, right? Like so you really are a fan of the guys on the team that you root for, right? So like people in San Diego don't give a shit about Aaron Judge and those guys, and
Right.
a lot of them, they probably don't even know most of their names. They might know Aaron Judge,
Right.
They might know some of the other guys, but it's very localized as far as fandom goes.
Yeah.
And you know, you don't get to see all the guys from the other teams that you're not rooting for or that aren't in your market, and you don't get to see them pushed in your face a little bit.
Right.
You know, I think part of it is on Major League Baseball.
It is.
And they don't market their individual stars as well as they could.
And you could probably say some stupid shit like Stephen A. Smith did yesterday about Shohei
see,
Ohtani.
that was just dumb.
Like, and say that's the reason why.
No,
It's like, no, that's not the reason why.
that's not the reason why. And actually, Shohei Ohtani has spoken English in an interview and at a couple of situations I've seen.
Yes.
He doesn't speak horrible English, so I don't. That to me doesn't. There's plenty of players in Major League Baseball that don't speak very good English. It doesn't matter, right?
Neither do you by saying how you just said that.
What,
They don't speak English very well. Very good English.
That don't speak. Yeah, don't speak English very well.
There you go.
Yeah. So, including me, who was schooled in the American school system. So there's plenty of players who don't speak the English language very well.
There you go. Nice.
So it's not about that.
No, it's not about that.
There's so many players from Cuba and from the Dominican Republic, and it's it's more about just individual marketing
Yep.
of these players as opposed to a language barrier.
Now, I think with Shohei Ohtani, I like internationally, he's probably huge. Especially, like obviously in Asia and, things like that. And I think he's got to get away from the Angels. I'm sorry. It's because the same thing's happening to him that's happening to Mike Trout. And if you also think about it, it's that organization's fault because they can't even get to the playoffs. I mean, you have like the best player in the game, and you can't get to the playoffs. Like, come on, what are we doing here? And now you're arguably going to have like the two best players in the game, and you're still not going to make the playoffs.
Yep.
Like that's bad.
So when I just put up a stat about Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
And it compares him to Babe Ruth, right? So only two players in AL history had 25-plus home runs, 10-plus stolen bases, and 75-plus pitching strikeouts in a career. Shohei Ohtani reached all three of those marks this season.
That's crazy.
I mean, it is insane what this guy is doing. He's got 33 home runs on the year, and he's a starting pitcher. He's started 13 games.
Yep.
And the games that he doesn't start, in between his pitching starts, he bats. He hits every single game.
Oh, and he plays the outfield.
Right. So I mean, it's just insane what this guy is doing right now, and for forgot to turn my ringer off.
I dig it. I don't. Yeah.
So for people to, yes, if you're a baseball fan, you know who Shohei Ohtani is.
Yep.
But if you're on the fringe, you don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, you probably don't know who that
He
is.
hasn't even come across your radar.
Probably not.
And for me, I think that's insane for what this guy is doing.
Yeah.
33 home runs. He's got a batting average that is rivaling the best in the league right now. I believe it's at around 300, 280.
Okay.
And he's started 13 games. He's 4-1. He's got a three something ERA, which isn't outstanding. 3.49 ERA.
This stuff is nasty too.
But he just excels at everything.
Right.
There's nothing this guy can't do for your team. I have never seen a two-way player in baseball like this. None of us have.
No,
None of us have.
Like Joe Madden actually, you made a great point about this. He goes, people want to romanticize about Babe Ruth, which they can all they want because the majority of us on this that are alive now have never seen him play. Never seen him play. But now you're actually getting a chance to live it.
Yep.
You're actually seeing it in real time. So because they were asking him, well, why are you going to have him pitch in the All-Star game? But he's like, this is why. People want to see it.
Listen, if you look back, if you would have, would you have want to see Babe Ruth play in an All-Star game?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So guess what? We have the next coming.
Yeah.
Of all the lore that is talked about for Babe Ruth, we have him now.
You're going to see a guy not only pitch.
He's going to start the game at pitcher.
He's going to start the game at pitcher,
and he's going to lead off.
And he's going to lead off batting. And
then he's gonna go to DH after he's done pitching.
Right.
Like that. That's insane.
Like I said, you romanticize Babe Ruth, but now you actually get to see it in real time, which I think is really fucking cool.
It is. It's really fucking cool, and the fact that it's not a bigger deal overall to me is just crazy. But I'm a huge fan of this guy now.
Yes.
Huge fan.
You know who I'm a big fan of? My guy Jason Stiltner at Flagstar Bank. If you're looking to refinance or even consolidate debt, there's no better time to do that than right now. Give my guy Jason Stiltner a call today at Flagstar Bank, 248-675-0675. Rates right now are currently incredibly low, so don't miss out on this great opportunity. Also, mention this ad from Sports on Tap and get hooked up with $500 off. So once again, give my guy Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-675-0675. Flagstar Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks. I think I had a good segue into that.
It was a good segue.
It's been a couple weeks.
It was a good because we were out for a week.
Yeah.
And then you yourself were out for a week. So it's been 3 weeks for you.
Yeah. So.
Very good. I just refuse to answer any of your hypothetical questions anymore.
It's probably a good idea.
I'm not going to do it anymore. So
yeah, I think that's a good
idea.
Not gonna do it anyway. Yeah, I think that's a good idea on your part.
Yeah. So we had talked about this before the show, and stay tuned for some things coming up in football season. We're looking into possibly having a live every Sunday morning show for fantasy stats, fantasy relevance.
It's going to be my
everything like
triumphant return to fantasy football.
Yes, you are going to make your way back into the fantasy realm. So we're looking at that, and possibly going to have another guest host.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the show, which will be fun.
More for like gambling. Stuff
Gambling,
like that,
fantasy expertise, so to speak. So, when we're looking into doing that, and speaking of that, we saw a news article and a news video about a woman who could start for many teams in the NFL based on her tackling expertise.
I think if the Lions saw this woman's film, she would be probably their number 1 draft pick.
Yeah, she might.
She seems like a Dan Campbell kind of gal.
She does. She looks like she might have bitten off a kneecap in a day or two. So I want to play this for you, and this is just this lady's her technique is flawless.
Pad level.
Even
great.
if you think you can run from the cops, good luck getting past this mom.
I figured at least I could do if I got them down, tripped them up, whatever, then they have a chance to get caught up.
That's Phyllis Pena in the red shirt.
First instinct was just to
textbook.
make sure he didn't go any further.
Captured on police dash cam, taking down a man she says was trying to look into her 15-year-old daughter's bedroom window.
Yeah, I mean, head up,
pad level, amazing.
Listen, it was great. Head up, just squared up, drove through the tackle. I mean, I don't know any NFL team that wouldn't want their middle linebacker to tackle like that. She needs to actually go teach some lessons.
Oh, 100%. That's it looks like she got a good motor, as they say, football player.
Oh,
good motor, football, pad level.
Yeah,
all that,
pad level.
all those cliches.
She looks
Boom.
like she might have bitten off a kneecap or two,
Yeah.
and she'd be a Dan Campbell guy.
Gal.
There
you go.
Yeah, gal.
Come on now.
Sorry, that was my bad. So yeah, I saw that. I had
That's
to play
great.
that. It
I
was
love
an
that.
insane tackle by somebody. I was like, wow, that is textbook.
Solid.
But talking about a little bit of football here.
Yeah.
And Matt Stafford's gotten some love in this offseason. And it's so it either goes for like I've seen two different types of responses to this,
It's
right?
still amazing to me that Lion fan can't let him go. Like, dude,
they can't.
let him go, man.
Well, and they keep latching on to all the positive things that are being said about him, right? So Sean McVay, I mean, I think him and Stafford might start dating pretty soon. I don't know what's going on there, but that's how glowing he is of Matt Stafford. Now, of course, he's gonna be.
Well, yeah.
But there was some rankings.
That's my quarterback.
Yeah, it's my quarterback. There was some rankings that came out recently about quarterbacks, and one of them had Matt Stafford as, I think, number 11. One of them had him as number 9. But there was also one that had him as the 6th best quarterback in the league.
No.
Today.
No.
Now, Lions fans have gravitated towards that one.
Of course.
And they are now saying, see, I told you we're going to regret losing him. We should have never gotten rid of him. If we'd have kept him and kept Galladay, we could make the playoffs because Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be here.
No.
So,
Wrong.
I just want to address these issues because you've heard the same things.
Oh, absolutely. I every time I see like one of these idiots on Twitter and they talk about like the record's going to be this and they're playoff bound, I have to like I put it on a group text. I'm just like, are these people fucking serious? And and the sad thing is, they are fucking serious.
They are dead serious. They're dead serious. So I guess this one is two issues here. Where is Matt Stafford actually ranked, and does he deserve all the love he's getting this offseason? And the Lions fan aspect of it, bro, just let it go.
Let it go, man.
Just let it go.
He's not your quarterback anymore. Let it go. He's somewhere in the middle. I would say like 15, 16-ish, give or take. Somewhere in that range, 14, 15, 16.
I'd even say the one that ranked him at 11 was okay.
And I can live with that, too. That's fine.
But to say he's a top 6 quarterback in the league right now.
Absolutely not.
Is just you're really pushing.
That's
it
a
at
reach,
that point.
man. That's a huge reach.
Huge reach.
Huge reach. And I know he's going to a better team with a better offense and everything like that. But he's not even taking a snap with this fucking team yet.
Not to mention, okay, so you say it's a better offense. Okay, granted, the Lions never really had much of a running game, and LA can run the ball pretty well. But when you talk about receivers, no, LA has good receivers, and of course you've got the Lions fan that wants to put down the receivers in LA and say, oh, he's not gonna be who's gonna be thrown to in LA. Well, they got Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods.
Robert Woods is good.
Both those guys are better than the receivers you have on your team right now. First of all,
100%,
and both those guys are better than Kenny Galladay. Sorry, true, it's a fact. And other people want to point to it and say, well, he was throwing to Calvin Johnson for years.
Great.
So he couldn't put what makes you think because he's throwing to these receivers he can just all of a sudden put it together? He was throwing to Calvin Johnson for years and couldn't do anything.
Who you think is the greatest receiver ever? Not you, Lion fan.
Right. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I knew what you meant. Yeah. He's the greatest things. Although they have turned on him a little bit because of the money issue. Lions fans are like, oh, fuck him. He quit on us.
Do you blame him? I don't blame him. You do blame him. That's sad. I don't blame him one fucking bit for quitting on this shitty-ass franchise.
Not one bit. Same as I didn't blame Barry Sanders.
Nope, didn't blame either of them. And, of course, you guys want to be mad. And this is what I don't get. Honestly, I think you guys would have done the same thing if you were put in that position.
What bothers me is the blind loyalty to not see some of the other aspects of this. Like, you are just so blindly loyal to the Lions logo and the franchise that you don't look at it from realistic vision and say, well, there's a reason two of the best players to ever play the game who played for the Lions quit on the franchise. Quit. Didn't want. We're just done. And instead of still playing a game they love to play and making millions of dollars, they decided to quit instead of playing for the franchise. It was either I want to play for another franchise or I'm not playing at all. And they chose to not play at all.
That should tell you all you need to know about that franchise.
And with the Matt Stafford thing, Matt Stafford wanted out.
Yeah, he did.
He wanted out.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter if you wanted to keep him or not. If you think you could have won with him and Galladay, he wanted out. Again, same thing. He wanted away from your franchise. He didn't want to be here anymore because he blamed the franchise for losing. Same as Calvin did. Same as Barry did.
And not to mention, you had Stafford for how long? And you didn't win anything?
12 years.
12 years. And you didn't win anything. So what made you think year 13 was going to be any different?
Oh, Dan Campbell, because he's going to teach him how to bite out kneecaps.
Exactly. Like, year 13 wasn't going to be any different. And even if you kept him for year 14, that wasn't going to be any different. You were not going to win anything here with Matt Stafford. You just weren't. It got to the point where it had run its course, and he finally saw it. He finally saw it. He's like, all right, with the little bit of tread I do have left on my tires, I want to go somewhere that actually has a chance to fucking win something.
Yes.
And he got his wish, and they sent him off to L.A. I'm sorry, Lion fan, get over it. Get over it.
It's insane how much the name Matt Stafford comes out of Lions fans' mouths still.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's like they went through a breakup and they can't get over it. They just keep wanting her to come back.
Yep.
Like, I miss her so much and I didn't want to break up. Like, get over it.
Yeah, right.
Get over it. Move on.
Then you know what? You should have been better.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Be better. But
it's that one for football season. Really, I'm looking forward to football season, but I'm looking forward in this aspect.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about this subject.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see the rest of this play out.
Oh hell yeah.
I can't wait to see the Lions just shit the bed. They're gonna come out and be the biggest back alley abortion you've ever seen, and it's gonna blow fans' minds that Dan Campbell isn't getting more out of this team. Not to mention, you're gonna see Matt Stafford, who isn't a top 10 quarterback in this league in my mind right now, but you're gonna see him go out there in LA, and you're gonna see him win, and you're gonna see him win.
Yep.
He's gonna make the playoffs.
Yep.
And he's probably gonna win a playoff game, the first playoff game of his career, because the Lions franchise sucks so much he couldn't get it done here.
Right. And then Lion fans are gonna talk shit about him.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Oh yeah. Right now they're longing for him to come back.
Yep.
But when he goes out there and actually plays well in LA, not top 10 well, sorry, still not top 10,
Nope.
but when he goes out there and plays well and actually makes the playoffs and possibly wins a playoff game, they're going to turn on him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's 100% going to happen. And we're going to be sitting here doing our shows and laughing about it the entire time
I cannot wait.
while Frank cries.
I don't think he's going to cry at this point. I think he's hit apathy.
Yes.
He's hit the apathy stage. And I'm hoping
I'm there with that fucking team.
That's yeah. I would guarantee you are with that fucking team. You've experienced it with the Lions. I've experienced it with the Lions. So there's certain stages of your fandom that you go through before you decide you're done.
Frank
Right.
is at that last stage before.
He's at apathy,
Yeah.
which then leads into like despair, which is just like I don't even like apathy is like you don't care one way or the other.
Right.
They can win, they can lose. It is what it is. They win, I'm happy. If they lose, it is what it is. Then comes the stage of just being pissed off at him and saying "fuck that," it's bullshit. I'm mad, and then you just get to the point where you say you're done.
I'm done.
And you break up with the Lions.
Yep.
And you're over it. You tell that bitch to hit rocks.
God, seriously, that was one of the best days of my life. I was just like, I'm done. Like, I can't fucking do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, that's the key in that scenario. Is you got to hit the point where you go, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yep. I don't want to keep making excuses for this franchise. I don't want to keep listening to excuses for why this franchise is such an abomination. Excuse, like why the NFL hates this franchise. Blah 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 blah. What? Name X excuse here
Yeah.
as to why this team can't get things done properly. And I just it just gets you get to the point where you're just like, enough. I'm done. Like I can't do this anymore. And you gotta be willing to go. You gotta be willing to go there.
Yeah.
And Frank's not quite there yet.
No, because you have such a strong tie to the football team that you've grown up rooting for, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, there's that draw,
Yep.
and it keeps pulling you back in. No matter how much you get frustrated, it keeps pulling you back in. And for me, it was just I was finally able to, that last string that
Yep.
was holding me to him, I was like, fuck this. And I was done. Just done. And I actively root against them now.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I'm at the point now where when they lose, I'm happy. It's
awesome.
If they win, it is what it is.
Especially when they lose in like the most Lions way possible. That's even better.
I can't. That makes my weekend.
That's great. I'm like, yeah, all right. That's
Yep.
what, honestly, that's one way I've never seen them lose, but I fucking love it.
I haven't seen that one before, but this is
I
fantastic.
fucking dig it. That's great.
Like every Sunday is like a 3-hour comedy,
Right.
And you're waiting for how it's going to end because you know it's going to end a certain way.
Yep.
You just don't know how it's going to get there. What
No.
path is it going to take this week? How's it going to happen this week?
But the funny thing is you like being on like I guess the outside of it now and like not being a fan. You can see it coming. You see like every step of how it's going to happen, how it's taking place. I'm
You're like, all
yeah,
right.
it's coming.
Yep.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Oh, and there it is. Yes.
Yeah, you can almost it almost telegraphs itself.
Oh, it's
for
fucking
you.
great.
Like you can, it's like watching a movie where you can kind of see the plot points and go, all right, well, this person is the villain. I can peg that out, and this is going to happen here. This person is going to end up dying. It's just like that with the Lions. Is every week now, as a fan who has now turned into a hater of the Lions, you can almost see it working itself out and developing over time.
Right.
You're like, all right, I can see how this is gonna play out, and I like this. This is gonna be
That's
fun.
great. Like I've seen this movie, but maybe a little bit of a twist ending.
It's gonna be a twist on the end.
Dig it.
It's gonna be some other way that's gonna happen. You know where it's gonna end up,
Right.
But you don't know how it's gonna get there, and you can kind of see it telegraphing itself. And by the time you get to the end, you're like, same result, but I like the way we got there.
Love it. Yeah, it's great. Like even when Rodgers was showing those like Hail Marys, and you could see it. You're watching it. You're going, all right. So there's this much time left on the clock. I see how this game is going. You're gonna give Aaron Rodgers a shot because you're fucking morons.
Well, we thought they were gonna do the pass back and forth kind of thing.
But you can see it, and you know what's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. And it's like you just said, like I can kind of see it coming. I can kind of see how it's happening, but I'm not 100% sure how it's gonna go down. But then it goes down. You're like, I love that.
You're like, aha.
Where's the spoon?
Yeah, so I am super pumped for football season
Yeah,
for,
I am too.
for many reasons.
Yep.
Many reasons, but this is just one of them. And I can't listen. Dan Campbell's quickly be turning into Adam Gase Part 2.
You're going to go visit him, right? Up in Ypsilanti?
Adam Gase, yeah, up in Ipsy where he's,
Yeah.
he's coaching high school kids now.
Yeah.
I love the fact that Adam Gase went from coaching an NFL team to coaching high school kids. And I'm glad because I was saying all along what a horrible coach this guy was, and he didn't get another chance in the NFL. He's coaching high school kids. I told you. I fucking told you guys. You kept hiring the guy, kept saying he was a good coach. He's fucking awful.
And now he's coaching high school kids.
And that's where your boy Dan Campbell's going to be in a few years.
That's fair. I can't necessarily disagree with that.
And I cannot wait to watch that happen.
I'm actually looking forward to that as well. It's going to be great.
Before we can get off the football topic if you want, but one more thing about football season. What is the main thing you're looking forward to besides your Bills? Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, besides my Browns.
Yeah.
Both of those teams have it set up to where they can have very, very good seasons this year, and they're both in contention for the Super Bowl. Let's facts are facts.
Yeah.
Both those teams are in contention for a Super Bowl berth. With that set aside, what's one of the main things you're looking forward to football season?
Honestly, I'm going to talk about your Browns. I want to see more of a progression with Baker Mayfield. I want to see if he can get to that next level, which like I said, we've made it abundantly clear on the show that I'm not a Baker guy. But credit where it's due. He had a really nice season last year.
Yep.
And I want to see if he can get to that, I guess, elite level, like where Mahomes is, and if you want to put Josh Allen on that elite level, fine. But
I will, because as we discussed before last season, I put him in the MVP race,
right.
and he was.
Yeah.
To his credit, he stepped up and he was.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm curious to see is if Baker can not only maintain the level he played at last year, but if he can take it to another level. So that's kind of something I'm looking into. And I'm another one is Justin Fields.
Yeah,
with Chicago. I'm very curious to see how that's going to play out.
Yeah,
if he can actually break the Ohio State QB curse.
I'm interested as well. I know they're very high on him there. I almost root for him to succeed. Not a Bears fan per se, but again, if he succeeds and he pans out, it means it's bad news for the Lions.
Yes, it does.
So for me, that would be a win, and he might be the one Ohio State quarterback to break that mold. Like if any Ohio State quarterback could do it, I think he could.
It seems like he has the mentality to do so.
He does. It seems like it.
Yeah.
And he's the one that I think could. Do I think he's going to? I don't. I would like to see it happen.
Okay.
I think it's probably more likely that it's not going to happen.
Okay. Another one, I want to see like which one of us is, I guess, right on this. Which I don't think there's a right or wrong on this. But
Tua?
No, Carson Wentz.
Oh. Yes. So that was going to be one of mine.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to. I'm just going to go out there and say it. I'm looking forward to him proving me right. That it was Philadelphia that ruined him, that it was Peterson that ruined him, and that he actually is as good of a quarterback as he showed in the first few years in Philadelphia, and that now that he's with Frank Reich, who coached him up in Philly, that he's going to succeed. I'm looking forward to him proving me right. Now, I said to Frank, I believe it was last week, and you weren't on the show, so I'm going to say it for you. If he does not come out and succeed this year, and he doesn't show that he has it this year, then guys like me are going to have to wash our hands and say, I'm done apologizing for him. I'm done saying he can be this. Like, this is your chance. This is your time to redeem yourself.
Right.
And if you don't, apologetics for Carson Wentz, like myself, will just have to say, I was wrong and back away from it.
I don't know how you
Because
can't.
You would have
At that
to.
point.
You would have to.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you could double down on it and say, well, listen, next year will be different, and in my mind, you can't. Like, this is his year to come out and prove that the people that think he can be a number one quarterback in the league and can lead his team are right. And if he doesn't, under these circumstances, under this regime that he is now in, then
I mean, you couldn't really have a better circumstance to try to resurrect your career.
You cannot. It was the best situation for him to be in.
Yeah.
The best situation for him to go to.
I still maintain I don't see it happening. I think he's, especially with all the injuries that he's had. I think with all the injuries that he's had, I think he's just
it's in between his ears, right?
I do, and I think he's fried. I think he's done.
I agree with the it's in between his ears part.
Yep.
I believe he can change that playing for Frank Reich. I believe he can change that playing for this team. I think Philadelphia run him more than he did himself.
Now, obviously, if he can right himself, they're absolutely a Super Bowl contender. 100% they're a Super Bowl contender
for sure.
It might be honestly an odds-on favorite to make it out of the AFC. Which
they're up there with the likes of Buffalo,
Kansas City, Buffalo,
Cleveland.
Absolutely.
Those are the top four, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
So one of the other ones for me is Miami. I love Miami's team. They have such a good defense. They have a great overall team, right? They have such a good defense, good overall defense. And the thing that I'm looking forward to seeing is, am I right about Tua?
That's a huge question mark.
It's a huge question mark.
And I'm not a Tua guy. Never have been.
Nope.
And I'm still not a Tua guy. I don't think he's the guy. I don't.
I think it's very. There's no wishy-washy with people who talk about Tua. So you either think he's not going to get it done and he's not the guy, or you think he is. There's really no middle ground there with Tua. It's weird. He's very polarizing. You either don't have any faith in him and you don't think he's going to do it, or you have faith in him and you think he's gonna bounce back. And it's whether you believe he came back too early from the hip injury. Should they have played him last year? I think they got pressured into playing him last year.
Probably.
I think they got pressured into playing him last year. I think Herbert came out and looked so good that Miami felt pressured to get Tua out there and on the field and try to show some signs of being
their fan base that we didn't blow this pick. Yeah.
And I think I disagreed with playing him last year. I told you guys that. I think they felt pressured into it. I think the way they did it was smart.
I think If you're gonna do it, I think that was the way to do it.
Yes, if you're gonna do it, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have done it. I think they got pressured into it.
Fair.
I think you're gonna see a different Tua come out this year than what you saw last year, playing in his spot play, in his 50-50 play with Fitzmagic. I think you're gonna see a different guy.
Okay.
So I think he's gonna take a step forward. I hope he does. I'm a fan of him. I really like that pick with Miami. But we'll see. I'm very interested to see how it plays out. I'm interested to see how he developed and how he develops in a real off season, in a genuine training camp off season. You know, a rookie coming in, being having a hip injury, didn't play for a year, then come into the off season that he came into.
Yeah,
it doesn't surprise me. He looked not so great.
No.
I mean, those circumstances don't set up for success. Even though Herbert was able to do it, but he wasn't injured the year before either, so he had played football.
Yep.
It was getting used to his team, and even he lost games he might not have. He maybe shouldn't have lost.
Right.
It looked incredible out there, but at times he also looked like a rookie.
Yes, he did.
So
big time.
There's you need to see Tua take that step this year. I'm very interested to see will he with this offseason, what will we see out of him?
I have 3 questions for you.
Yeah.
One, who do you think is going to be the MVP dark horse?
MVP dark horse. So I think Josh Allen's going to be up there, but he's not a dark horse this year. He was.
No, he's definitely not a dark horse.
He was last year.
Yeah.
Not a dark horse this year. You know what? I'm actually going to say it. I think there's a chance Baker has an outside shot at it.
All right.
If he progresses, and the polarization for Baker is the fact that he had such a good rookie year, then he looked like dog shit the next year.
Okay.
And it's whether you believe that was him or Freddie Kitchens, Larry the Cable Guy's offense and all that transition and that bullshit.
Okay.
So he looked really, really good last year. He played really well, especially after he lost his number one receiver in OBJ.
Yeah.
He played really well, and into the playoffs he played really well. So I think if that can continue, the coaching continues, their game plan continues, they run the ball with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, who to me is a top 5 back in the NFL right now, hands down,
right.
Maybe even top 3. I think you could see him take that next step, and you said you were looking for him to take that step. I think this could be a season where it's lined up for him to take that big of a step.
Okay.
Now, Frank laughed and joked about me saying that last year, which I never would have. But I think it's lined up for him this year.
Yeah.
I think that team is good enough that it is lined up for him to make a run as a dark horse in the MVP race.
Okay. I can't necessarily disagree with that. I mean, that's honestly a really solid pick. I think mine is going to surprise you a little bit.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I mean, if they can turn around, if they can win some games that they lost last year.
I think this year they will. I think those games that were close last year.
There was a lot that were close.
I know that,
but
but I think this year those will be mostly W's instead of L's.
I think Anthony Lynn, who is now a coach on the Lions,
yes,
was had a lot to do with those losses.
But some guys aren't head coaches.
No, you're right, they're not. And with him, he's more of a run game type coordinator anyway.
Yeah.
But with him, I always associated with him. I told you guys this. He was just a younger Caldwell. Very good motivator, very good coach. Not in game.
Right.
In game management, awful.
Not great.
Awful.
Not great.
I like that one.
No,
I like that one. That's very, very dark horse though.
Very dark.
That's even more dark horse.
That's a little bit outside the
Baker.
box.
Yeah.
Your surprise team this year.
Well, see, I want to say Miami, but they were not. They can't really be a surprise because they were pretty good last year. Let's see. I think I'm actually gonna go with Chicago.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Chicago. I think they've got all the tools if they can get solid play out of the quarterback, whoever it is. They've got a good enough defense. They've got a good enough run game. I believe they can make a run in the NFC.
And we still don't know what's going on with Ron.
Right.
Yep.
So I like Chicago to make a run.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the New York Giants.
Really?
Yep.
Got faith in Daniel Jones, huh?
Danny Dimes, baby.
Really?
Yeah, why not? I don't know. The Giants are like one of those franchises. Like, yeah, they'll like suck for a little bit.
They're like a roller coaster.
They are, but like then all of a sudden they just turn around and then they're like good again. It's amazing with that franchise.
Yeah, another one that you can't say it's going to be a bounce back, or you can say it's a bounce back, but I don't know if it's surprise. But I think Dallas. I think Dallas has it set up. They added some stuff to that defense. That defense is still going to be an Achilles heel.
Yeah, so defense is
but
still gonna be
the
bad.
offense, now that Dak is back, if he stays healthy, they have the receivers, they have the run game. I think they could, based on last year's wins, they could really just succeed this year because if their team stays healthy, if Dak is out there. They would have last year. They would have last year if Dak would have stayed healthy because he was throwing for 500 yards a game. And
he had to.
So I think they might surprise some people this year. I don't like Dallas as a team. I think they still are lacking on defense.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, I think they can succeed in that division, and I think they can win a good chunk of games.
Your disappointing team this year.
Oh man. Disappointing team this year. You take this one first. I gotta think.
Arizona
about this one.
Cardinals.
Yeah, but see, I guess I would argue that one only based on the fact that I think they've disappointed the last 2 years.
Fair enough, but adding what they added this offseason.
Yeah,
I don't see it. I don't see them. I don't even see them making the playoffs. I don't, and I think again with them adding who they added, I think it would be a disappointment if they didn't make the playoffs, and I frankly don't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. They very well could be, because I think they will compete this year, but you're right, they could be a disappointment. They disappointed last year. I mean, they have an up-and-comer head coach who they thought was going to take them to promised land. You have Kyler Murray, who I'm a huge fan of. I think he's one of the better athletes in the league. But yeah, they went after J.J. Watt, and they think that's a big signing for them, and I disagree.
I disagree with 100% with that.
I know when it took place, we both disagreed with that and said,
not for that type of money.
It doesn't really add much. Nope. Doesn't really add much to your team.
No,
and as far as that goes.
I was told like Buffalo was going after him. I'm like, not that type of money. If you could have got him on the cheap, all right, fine. But for that type of money, no, we're good. We're good. You go to Arizona.
So I want to go back to another bounce back team before I go on to my disappointment. I think San Fran.
Yeah, I think with all the injuries that they had last year,
they had so many injuries. And
I could see that.
It's almost not fair to put them up there, but they had so many injuries. That team coming back this year, if they're healthy, is a playoff contender.
Yep.
I mean, it's plain and simple.
Just got to have Jimmy G do his thing though, like.
And really, he doesn't even have to do much. Truthfully, if the offensive line is healthy, if that defense is healthy, he doesn't have to do much. He's got some pretty good receivers to throw the ball to.
Right.
Rely on the run game. Just be what you were when you filled in for Tom Brady in New England.
Game manager.
That's all you got to do. That's it.
Game manager.
I think a team that could disappoint this year is Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I think Pittsburgh could fall off the map. I see them as being fourth in that division. Honestly,
I could absolutely see it.
I believe Cincinnati has a chance to finish ahead of them, and Cincinnati's not a great team.
They are not.
But if Burrow comes back and is healthy, they very well could finish ahead of Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh has a very down season this year.
Especially with the corpse of Ben Roethlisberger as your quarterback.
Right, which they should have never brought him back.
Yeah, hell no.
Should have never brought him back.
Don't get me wrong, I love seeing the Steelers struggle. I absolutely love it.
I enjoy it myself.
It's great.
Obviously, I'm a Browns fan
so
I enjoy it.
It's great to see them struggle. It's like you could have easily gotten rid of this dude, and I get he's one of the all-time greats for the Steelers and everything, but at some point you gotta move forward, man.
Yeah,
like you gotta move your franchise forward, and this is the Steelers. They've done that. They've been great at doing that.
Yeah,
that's how you end up with 6 Super Bowl titles.
They should have never brought back Ben. They should have had a backup plan for him.
Yeah.
And
Mason Rudolph ain't the answer.
He's not the answer. They've lost some offensive linemen. They haven't added anything to that offensive line. In reality, you're looking at a worse offensive line than last year, which they couldn't run the ball at all. You lost James Conner.
And then you drafted a running back.
Yeah, he's going to be running for his life because they're not going to be able to block for him.
Right.
So, I think they could have a real fall down to earth here. New Orleans, which is an easy one because no Drew Brees.
And then
no Drew Brees.
Taysom Hill is your quarterback.
Yeah, and I think Taysom Hill is going to end up biting Sean Payton in the ass.
Oh yeah,
because he's basically latched his wagon.
Oh yeah.
To Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill is a fucking tight end, dude.
He's a gimmick player, and he's not a guy that you should be paying the amount of money to that you're paying him. And you're already talking about starting Jameis Winston anyway at quarterback, but you're latched on to Taysom Hill so badly that he's going to be your downfall there. And I don't see them winning many games. The Ravens is another one I could see come crashing down a little bit because I don't see, unless Lamar Jackson takes that step.
Like we talked about.
Yeah.
But I think Baker's next step is more significant than Lamar's. I think Lamar's step would be to where Baker is now.
Yeah.
And then Baker's would be like obviously that next step.
Lamar's got to be consistent throwing the football, and until he becomes more of a threat throwing the football, they're not going to amount to anything.
No, because you can defense against that.
It's been proven.
Yep.
Right. It's not that he's not a great athlete. I think he's a great athlete. I am a fan of him as an athlete. But when it comes down to it, he needs to progress as a quarterback, or else that team's not going to go anywhere. So, yeah, I mean that's
yes,
that's where I'm at on that one.
That's
so,
fair.
Did you have another one?
No, that was it.
No, okay.
No, that was it. That's it's early, obviously. We haven't even gotten to training camp yet or anything like that. But just some early NFL talk. Nothing wrong with that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like NFL talk.
I know you do.
Anytime.
I know you do.
Any time of the year.
Yes, I'm aware of that, so I know we can go. That'll work anytime with you.
I want to touch on college football here for just a second because I came across something that I thought was interesting, and I almost sent it to you, but I forgot, and now it popped into my head. So, De'Aaron King,
Yep.
the Miami quarterback, this is a statement that he had to make via ESPN. I have no doubt in my mind we will beat Alabama badly.
He didn't say that.
In Atlanta. He didn't say that?
Nope.
Okay.
He didn't say it.
He did not say that.
Nope.
Okay. So this one made me question. I was like, damn, this dude is
did
calling
not- he
out
did not.
Alabama?
I when it first came out, I saw it, and then like in all the like Miami like fan groups and whatever that I'm in, people were just like, "Are you fucking kidding? Did he really fucking say that?"
That
was
was my reaction.
Everybody got to the bottom. He did not say that.
Okay.
So it's clickbait bullshit.
Okay, good.
That's all it is.
Good. I wish I'd have sent it to you so you could have told me that, but I just happened to come across it that I forgot to send it to you, and it made me think, hey, you know what? We can talk about it right here.
Right. It was like, because when I first saw it, I'm like, no way did he fucking say that. Because if he said that, they're going to get blown out by 70. Like, no, you don't. I looked into it. I investigated it. He didn't say it. It like says just clickbait bullshit. That's all it was. That's what really grinds my gears is that clickbait bullshit. I fucking can't stand it. But,
so are we doing grind my gears?
Oh, yeah. Fuck it. Let's get into it.
All right.
You know what really grinds my gears?
People who think Skyline chili is chili. It's not fucking chili. It's more of a chili-like sauce, I guess, for lack of a better term. Not to mention, you put it on noodles. It's like putting pasta sauce on noodles, except it's a chili-like substance. It's not fucking chili. It's more of a soup than anything. Stop referring to Skyline chili as chili, because it's not.
You know what's funny? I've never had Skyline
You're
chili.
not missing anything. It's fucking terrible.
To me, Skyline chili, the looks of it, it just reminds me of a hot dog chili.
Yeah.
So I don't want beans.
But it's like sweet.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind that on my hot dog, but like I wouldn't want like a full-on bean chili on my hot dog, right? Like if you want a chili dog, you don't want a full-on fucking chili. You want that chili sauce.
Right.
So it reminds me of chili sauce.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes. Chili sauce, I can live with, but to call it like chili, no, stop it.
Okay.
It's not chili. And I do have one more.
Okay.
And I know you guys kind of talked about this last week, but yeah, I am absolutely in agreement with you. If you fucking blow up fireworks the day after the 4th of July, you're a fucking loser. I'm sorry. You honestly deserve to be kicked in the teeth repeatedly. Like there's no up until the 4th. I'm not like a huge fan of it, but I guess I somewhat understand it. It's still an annoyance, but at least it's before the 4th of July. But if you do it afterwards, seriously, you deserve to get kicked in the teeth repeatedly.
So we talked about this last week with the fireworks thing, with Kovlenix dying from a mortar hitting him.
Yeah.
And for me, fireworks, we talked about this several times. We talked about it last week on the show. I don't understand fireworks. I'm a guy that maybe I'm missing something, but I don't understand the draw to buying explosives to shoot off around your family when you're not an expert with explosives. I got
nothing on that.
Like
one.
People lose hands, fingers, they die, and you're like, hey, I don't really know much about explosives. I'm gonna go buy some and blow them up around my family members and my kids, and either risk their lives or risk having them see me blow my hand off or me die.
Didn't the meteorologist for Channel 7, isn't that how he has a fake eye now because of fireworks?
Does he really?
I think that's what happened. Yeah, I think because of fireworks, he has a fake eye now.
That's insane to me. And you hear about it every single year. I don't understand the draw to fireworks.
No, I don't get it.
So I don't understand why you feel you have to set them off for 7 solid months when 4th of July is one day. I don't understand why you feel the need to just blow things up in your front lawn with your family members around. I don't understand the oohs and the ahs when you look at fireworks when it comes down to it. You've seen them all before. It's not like they've reinvented fireworks in the last 10 years. It's the same shit you saw shot off 30 years ago. Fireworks haven't reinvented themselves.
Nope.
It's not like it shoots up in the air and, does loop-de-loops and, fucking shows pictures and shit. It's just not. I don't understand the draw to fireworks in the first place, and I don't understand people that shoot them off for fucking 3 months when 4th of July is one fucking day. It's annoying. You're like children. It's like you're a 10-year-old and you're like, let's go blow shit up.
Yeah, right. No, I'm with you 100%. I don't get it. Never have, never will.
Yeah,
But
maybe I'm missing something, but I
don't think
in
you
that,
are.
In that case, I'm good with fucking missing it,
Yeah, right?
Because I just don't understand it.
yeah, I'm with you on that one. I don't get it.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was those are my grind my gears.
I like it. I'm glad you had two. I didn't have any this week.
Right. I haven't had any in a while.
Maybe
so.
maybe I'm becoming soft. I didn't have anything that grinded my gears the last couple weeks.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that happens.
I had a couple last week.
Yeah, there you
so
go.
Maybe I got them out of the way last week.
There you go.
All right. So, anything else you want to get into before we do Cameo Shit Show?
Hit the Cameo Shit Show.
All right. So, Cameo Shit Show this week is Wesley Snipes.
Oh, seriously?
Wesley Snipes.
Nice.
Yeah. So here we go.
Chris Ulrich. Chris, look at him, man. boy, you need to leave that stuff alone, brother. All that other, you need to leave that alone. I'm telling you, man. Your girlfriend be looking at you like, your friends be looking like, your daddy be looking at you like, and then your dog be looking at you. Leave it alone, Chris. Leave it alone. Just don't drink no more, man. Don't do it to yourself, man. Leave it alone. Trust me. Woo, you crazy boy.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
That was he was referring to drinking. For those of you that couldn't see the video, he did the tipsy drinking thing. So apparently he had gotten written by somebody that he needed to tell Chris Ulrich to stop drinking.
Stop drinking, man.
But watching that video kind of makes me want to drink. I mean, it was
Okay,
really.
it sounded like he was having a really good time.
It sounded like he was drunk.
Yeah, right.
And it looked like he was a little drunk. It was so weird. The visuals of that video were even worse than the audio. It was just
nice.
Like he literally acted out the faces of each person. Like your girlfriend looks at you like,
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. He acted them out. Even the dog one. He's like, your dog looks at you like, like, what the fuck are you doing, man? These cameos are just ridiculous. I don't know why people ever get them.
No, that would be. I mean, obviously more for like a prank reason or something like that to send it to your buddy or whatever. But like, I would not want to get one at all.
No,
like, nah, dude, we're good. Thanks. Thanks.
As a possible joke to make fun of it, like how it would turn out, and what it would be. Yes, and maybe eventually we do one for the show just to see how it will play. Like order one for the show.
That'd be great.
But for the pure comedy aspect of it, because we play them on the show for comedy aspect, they're just all so awkward and insane.
Maybe we can get Mark McGrath.
Oh man, we should come up with something great for a cameo to send to Mark McGrath.
That'd be fucking
because
awesome.
He's already broken up with somebody and he's already fired somebody. Like, what else can you have that guy do on cameo?
Great, man. If we could get Mark McGrath as a cameo for our show, that'd be fucking great. Oh, man. That'd be awesome.
All right. Anything else we got on tap for today?
I don't think so.
No. All right. Well, with that said, it's the end of the show. So that's going to do it for tonight. Give us a like, a share, and a follow on our social media, like Facebook.
The bracket thing.
Oh shit! Yes. So we were entered into an intro bracket for podcasts, and it started out at 64, and it's been narrowed down to 16, and we have made the Sweet 16 in the intro podcast.
Yep.
So the next segment for the 16 teams is going to come out tomorrow. So pay attention to our Facebook page. We will be releasing where to vote and how to vote on our Facebook page. Do us a favor, go on there, vote for us, please.
Yep.
And anybody that has already voted for us, we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Keep on voting for us, please.
And it's great. We've made it to the Sweet 16. So you have been voting for us. Whoever you are out there, we thank you, and it's awesome. We appreciate the support.
Yeah.
So
much appreciated.
Yep. Pay attention for that. We're going to put that on our Facebook page tomorrow night.
Yes.
With that being said, follow us on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find all of our podcasts on your favorite podcast provider. As always, check out our website, sotdet.com. Again, that's sotdet.com. I want to thank everybody for listening and or watching. On behalf of Chris and Frank, who is moving.
Yep.
Sorry, bud. That sucks.
It does.
I'm Joe. We are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
See you.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye. Have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No, 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 no!
Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
Hey.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
And you were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.